Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to learn about Azure Automation. Azure Automation delivers a cloud-based automation and configuration service that will support consistent management across your Azure and non-Azure environments also. With Azure Automation, you can go for the process automation. When we talk about the process automation, anything like frequent things that you wanted to automate with the help of your Python runbooks, or maybe a PowerShell can be used to automate your tasks, which not just for your on-premises, you can also do it on a cloud and hybrid things. You can go for automation so that you will be getting error-prone cloud management tasks can be achieved, and this will definitely helps you in terms of the operation cost also can be reduced by going for the process automation. And when we look at the configuration management, basically we are talking about the configuration management with the two things. One would be the checking and tracking the inventory information about the assets, and other one would be the DSC. That's nothing but PowerShell DSC, like a PowerShell automation state configuration we call it. And with that, the configuration of that specific machine or maybe specific asset will remains all the time with the same state. It doesn't allow you to change, so even you can track the changes also with the help of configuration management. And when we talk about update management, in fact we have two videos which are covered within this for the Windows updates, for the update management, where you can do it from the right directly from the virtual machine, or you can schedule it directly from the Azure Automation. So this is nothing but a patch management. And coming back to the shared capabilities, when we look at the shared capabilities, Azure Automation offers a number of shared capabilities like RBAC, that's role-based access control, and flexible in terms of the scheduling your tasks, which runs automatically on a scheduled time. And also you can control your source code integration and auditing and tagging, all that actually supported in a shared capabilities. And also it supports heterogeneous. When we talk about heterogeneous like Windows and Linux, not just Azure, also on-premises things also can be fully automated. Before we jump into Azure portal to understand about Azure Automation, let's understand about the core key components of Azure Automation. So we have three core components that are part of Azure Automation. The first one is Automation Account. This is a service account that gets automatically created when you create the Azure Automation account, or you can create later point also, and this account will have full rights on your subscription level. Let's say it will have the co-administrative permissions. The reason being, for any of the resources, it will go and interact with that resource and it can do the automation job. Let's think in other way, like you have a SQL server maybe in your on-premises in the olden days, and to run that SQL server we used to give the service account to start that service, right? Similarly, you have your automation account that also a kind of service account which will have the full rights at the subscription level as a co-administrative permissions, and it can go and interact with any of the Azure resources. On top of it, if you are running some kind of scripts, that's again, when I say scripts, what you're going to do is you're actually contains the here, if you see here, automation workbook. So this automation workbook will contain the scripts. When I say scripts, it can be a PowerShell or Python based. It supports two type of scripts. So that will contain some kind of modules and that complete shells, whatever the scripts that are there, that will go and contact your Azure resources, and to run on against on those Azure resources, the automation account will be used. Let's say you have a virtual machine and you wanted to stop that. So to stop that service, the virtual machine, you need to have the account and there should be a script. So the script comes from the automation runbook just to stop that virtual machine, and when it is executing, it will actually use the automation account, and the charges would be applied only for the execution time. So it's a pay-as-you-go model, like only the execution time would be charge for you. And to execute that, you need to have something called a worker, right? You need to have a base where it's going to execute your script, right? To execute that script, you need to have a base. So that's called the automation worker. So you have two types of the automation workers by default. When you're trying to automate any of the scripts with the help of the scripts, when it is executing, it actually uses Azure Sandbox. A sandbox is the backend. Actually, it will have some kind of virtual machine kind of thing which uses to execute that specific script, right? And if at all you want to have your own runbook worker, in that case that's called the hybrid runbook worker. We call it, you can create a environment where all of your automation runbooks will execute from that place or from that specific runbook worker. So that's called the automation worker in that